Alright guys, cool Saturday day at Ducati Newport Beach. Thanks so much to Ducati Newport Beach. We got a chance to try out the new Panigale V4. This is essentially the standard version. Let's jump on it and check it out. As I said, this is the all new remodeled Panigale V4. You got the double-sided swing arm. You know, some people like it, some people hate it. Bike has got all new electronics. And the bike is pretty much all redone compared to like the old generation, which is kind of like mine. Obviously mine is the higher end spec. We got the exhaust. This is completely stock, but let's jump on it and see how it is. Once again, Ducati Newport Beach, thanks so much. Feels nice, feels lighter a little bit. Definitely feels a little bit taller. I like the screen. That's the first thing that you'll notice off the bat. The screen is actually much bigger. Definitely like that. It is going to be quieter because obviously it doesn't have an exhaust or anything like that. Very interesting. One of the things that you notice off the bat, it's hard to see here. Actually, let's go this way. The first thing that you'll notice off the bat compared to like my bike is that the bike is very smooth. One of the things on the old bikes is when you're taking off, it's kind of buggy. This one is not like that. It might be the electronics, might be just because it's the standard model, it's not as aggressive, or just the setting in general, but that's the first thing that I noticed. Feels very nice. I like it. It does feel narrower. You know, I think it is narrower if you look at the gas tank compared to like the old ones. A little bit more narrow. Even the triple trees are actually quite a bit tighter. Clutch feels lighter. Good acceleration. I think we have it in road mode. Nothing too crazy. Get used to it. And to be honest, it kind of feels like a V2, which is a good thing because I think for some reason it just feels lighter overall. Being that it's the standard model or the regular V4, it's not the S. We don't have the electronic suspension, which is fine. A lot of people actually prefer this suspension for the track. We'll take it on a little cruise around town and see how it performs. So far, so good. I do really like the new dash, the new display. That was a good improvement. Also, another interesting thing, if you see like the mirrors now used to be on the top, now it's underneath, so if you take them off it will be very clean looking. I like that. Ducati Newport Beach actually put some carbon fiber pieces on this bike. This is usually red. Also, if you look at the wings are carbon fiber. Usually they were all matched red. I do like the red. It's actually, once the sun hits it, it's a very cool red. We'll take it on the freeway and we'll go around on the streets after that just to see how it performs in traffic, how it does on the open roads. This is a pretty cool feature. It actually tells you a lean angle. That'll be cool obviously if you're on the canyons. Now we're going in a straight line, so it's kind of useless. But I like that. and it's definitely smoother compared to my bike. Like I said, with my bike and the older generations, ridden a few bikes of those, in the low RPMs the bike is very boggy, you know. Not the case right now. It does need an exhaust because it's pretty quiet, pretty tame. But if you put the Terminioni on this thing, it's gonna give it that nice Ducati sound. Also, this one doesn't have the dry clutch, so you don't hear that either. Check out the lean angle. That's a cool feature, I like it. Also, you have the throttle. And obviously the brake as well there. Let's see if we can change. Road. Let's change to sport. There we go, now we're in sport. And we have the RPM display. That's usually how I ride Mars. Tells you the gear. Oh yeah, it definitely goes. Put it in race mode now. It should be more aggressive. It does feel more aggressive. Brakes feel amazing. One of the cool things with the new generation bikes, I don't know if it's available with the V4, but I know you can have it on the S, is actually upgrade to the new, they call it the race brakes package. Basically those derive from the World Superbike. Bigger brakes, bites more. That's going to be a cool feature to actually try it out on some of the bikes. Basically upgrading your brakes. And yeah, it feels very stable with the new swing arm. Not that the old one is not. I don't really know what the difference is riding in the street. I don't think you would notice it much, but obviously for the track. The reason Ducati went with this swing arm, with a double-sided swing arm versus the single-sided swing arm, was a couple of reasons. It is technically lighter because having the single-sided, it's got to be that much more biffier compared to if you look at this one with the double-sided. Basically you have two holes on the side. That shaves off weight, and I'll show you after we pull over. It's actually, it almost feels like it's hollow. That's how light that swing arm is. So for performance, it does make sense to have, you know, a double-sided swing arm. Also, the electronics of the bikes have changed dramatically. It's much improved. One of the cool features that this bike has with the electronics compared to like the old bikes is, if you are on the track and let's say you're leaning or going into the turn, the bike actually applies the rear brake for you, just to help you get into the turn better and also coming out of the turn, that's going to be a crazy feature to experience, you know, that the bike's actually applying the rear brake for you. And overall, I'm sure the electronics has gotten much better, because with every generation, Ducati just improves and improves on what the previous generation had. Here's another cool thing that I've just noticed. The bike is not getting hot at all. That's another thing with previous generation. Some of those bikes, today is not really a hot day, but when you're going to stop and go traffic, this area right here would actually get pretty hot. Not the case right now. I mean, like I said, we've been on the freeway for a little bit, on the streets. It's completely normal. I don't feel any heat at all coming from the engine. So that's definitely a big improvement. Considering that the bike still has the stock exhaust, you know, it's somewhat restricted. There's absolutely no heat. Some heat is coming out of it, but obviously not to the point where it's uncomfortable. Where with some of the old bikes, you could not stand in traffic just like this. You had to move your feet around just to get the cool air in there. So yeah, overall I do like the bike. You know, it feels really good. It is definitely narrower. The gas tank, this area, the cockpit, I would say it does feel a little bit taller compared to the other ones. It might be maybe just me. I'm 6'2", if you guys can see. You know, for me obviously pretty easy. It might be different for shorter riders, but I definitely like it. And again, keep in mind, this is essentially the first bike out from the new generation. As years goes by, Ducati is just going to improve more. They're going to have more special editions. As a matter of fact, last week actually they released the preview for the first special edition coming out for this bike, which is going to be the tricolore. Essentially you have the white, the red, the green. That bike is going to be made only 1,000 units. It's going to be a S. It comes with carbon wheels, and also it's going to have the new race brakes. I want to say that bike was somewhere around $55,000 or $58,000. This bikes are, I want to say, $27,000 on the regular V4, and the V4S's are coming at about $33,000. So yes, price did go up compared to like the previous generation. Couple of $1,000, like I said, the price went up, but obviously the bikes got better. They are Italian, they're not cheap by any means, but for people that can afford it and appreciate it, I would say definitely, if you have the ability to get one of these bikes, definitely do so. And obviously you can do a lot of carbon pieces on this bike to kind of customize it to your liking and stuff like that. There's already parts for it or available upgrades from Ducati Performance, whether it's going to be carbon pieces, or you can do the Acura exhaust, undertail, or the one underneath. There's definitely a lot of things that you can do to make it your own. That was a third gear pull. We don't want to really go too crazy on the revs because it is a demo bike and it's still in the breaking in period, so we gotta respect the bike. At the end of the day, it's not ours. Ducati lent it to us. Ducati Newport Beach was nice enough to let us ride it, so we gotta appreciate other people's properties. Engine is essentially the same as the previous generation, 205 or 208, 210 horsepower, something like that in the stock formation. But yeah, I like it. It does feel lighter for sure. It definitely feels lighter and very, very nimble. the best way to describe it is like it's like I'm sitting on a V2 essentially. The quick shit just feels like so precise, going up in gear, down in gear. I like it. Fortunately, we got a lot of traffic. But we're in California, so we can split lanes. Man, this is a lot of traffic. I've never seen it backed up this far. Catching up to another biker. Once again, I absolutely love this display. The fact that it's so much bigger, the way they made it, super nice. And another cool feature is that you can actually do a lot more changes now on the go and have a lot more different settings and things to change to make it basically to your own liking. Wasn't sure where this guy was going in this Toyota. Clutch feels so light, it's ridiculous. Look at this, it just feels so light. Feels good. I'm just more used to having obviously a harder clutch, but I like it. Yeah, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. New Ducati knocked it out of the park. Whoops. And we are back at the dealership. I'll park it next to mine so you guys can see essentially the previous generation and this generation side by side. Here we go. This is how it looks versus the old one. Let's go around it and I'll show you guys what I was talking about on the swing arm. This guy's actually put the carbon fiber cover on it, but if you look at it, I don't know, the camera picks it up, it actually feels like it's almost hollow. That's how light it is. Obviously you have a big hole here, you're cutting out weight. Same thing on the other side. Looks so nice actually with the carbon cover, carbon rear fender. Very nice. I actually do like it. One of the things that I like on this upgrade compared to like the old bikes is if you look at like the front, how everything is integrated. Essentially it's like one piece, the whole front, versus I'll show you on mine. It almost looks like they were added later, the wings. Still looks very nice. I do kind of prefer, my personal opinion, the look of the old one because of the swing arm, the single-sided swing arm and stuff like that. Obviously this is like a higher spec bike, but when it comes to actual performance, I'm sure that this bike, if we take two of the same on the track, this bike will do better with everything that they have done on the electronics, obviously the swing arm and everything overall. Good job Ducati. Once again, Ducati Newport Beach, thank you so much. Make sure you guys check these guys out. They always have an amazing collection or amazing choices of bikes to purchase, whether it's new or used. Make sure to check out Ducati Newport Beach. All right, that wraps her up. Let me know what you guys think about it. Comment below what your thoughts are about the new Ducati, whether you like the old one or the new one. Here's the old one and here is the new one, double-sided swing arm. Initially people are kind of hating on it, saying it looks like a Honda or whatnot. Once you see it in person, that's the other thing. If you haven't seen this bike in person, make sure to check it out. In my opinion, it does look a lot better in person than compared to pictures and video what I've seen before. I've also seen a few racers or race guys do reviews on them and everybody seemed to like it. So that wraps it up. See you guys, stay tuned for more.